Hello everyone. So the topic that we are going to discuss is iteration bound. And so before starting this, I want to recap that in third lecture, that was sampling period of FIR filter, we have discussed the concept of critical path and how it affects the sampling rate or sampling period of the FIR filter. So now I am going to discuss the similar concept for IIR filter. So the topic iteration bound, it is related to the recursive or IIR filters, and it imposes lower bound on the sampling period of the given IIR filter, and it is not possible to achieve an iteration period less than the iteration bound, and iteration bound is analyzed using data flow graph. So what does all this point means? I am going to explain this by taking an example. Okay, so consider the given DFG with two nodes, node A and node B. The computation time of node A is 2 unit time, and for node B it is 4 unit time. Between node B to A there is a one delay element D. So this is the example of IIR filter. Okay, because it is having loop, so I can define loop as a directed path that begins and end at same node. Okay, so example is this. This is a loop. So starting from A, then moving to B, and then again coming back to A. So this is the example of loop, and the forward path is this one. This is the forward path from A to B. So this is having only one forward path, so this is the only critical path. Okay, so critical path time can be calculated by adding their computation time, that is 2 plus 4, that is 6 unit time. Okay, but now this is also having loop, and we defined a term known as loop bound. Okay, so loop bound is defined as amount of time required to execute a loop. Okay, so loop bound can be determined using precedence constraint, and I had already discussed the concept of precedence constraint in my second lecture. Okay, so for this loop, the precedence constraint can be written as, okay, starting from the 0th iteration, A0, B0, this is intra iteration precedence constraint. Okay, so here you can see that A is directly connected to B without any delay element, so the result generated by A will be consumed by B in the same iteration. So this means that in the 0th iteration, the result generated by A will be consumed by B in the same iteration, and the result generated by B will be consumed by A after one cycle, that is in the next iteration. So we will denote this by double arrow and iteration 1. Okay, and single arrow B1, then double arrow E2. So this double arrow represents inter iteration precedence constraint. Okay, so according to this precedence constraint, iteration k of the loop consists of sequential execution of ak and bk. Okay, you can see a0, first a0 will be executed, then b0 will be executed, then a1, b1. So this is a sequential execution. Okay, so one iteration of the loop requires the time that is ta plus tb. Simply you can add the computation time of the element in the loop, and that is 6 unit, and this is loop bound. Okay, so we have used precedence constraint to calculate the value of loop bound. Formal definition of loop bound is, it is defined as TL divided by WL, where TL is loop computation time and WL is number of delays in the loop. Okay, so here you can see that the loop bound is 6 unit time, and the critical path time is also same. So the sampling period of this given DFG cannot be lowered beyond this value. Okay, so now consider the second DFG. Same node A, B. A is directly connected to B, and now there are two delay elements from B to A. So the forward path is A to B, and loop is same, A to B and then B to A. And talking about its precedence constraint, okay, so starting from the 0th iteration, so result generated by A0, assuming that A0 fires first, so it is directly connected to B. So in the 0th iteration, the result generated by A0 will be consumed by B in the same iteration. Okay, B0. Okay, B0 node B cannot perform its computation until and unless the result is generated by A. Okay, and the result generated by B will be again used by A, but after 2 cycles. So this is inter-iteration precedence constraint, so we will denote it by 2 arrow, and after 2 iteration means A of 2, then B of 2, then A of 4. So you can notice that this is even iteration. Okay, A0, B0, A2, B2, A4. So after the 0th iteration, first iteration will be executed. So the corresponding variable will be A1, that will be used by B in the same iteration, so we will denote B1, and that will be used by A after 2 iterations, so that will be denoted by A3, then B3, A5, likewise. So this denotes odd iteration. So So here you can see that in the 0th iteration A and B are sequentially executed. In second iteration they are again sequentially executed, and so on. And for odd iteration the case is same, the execution is sequential. First A will fire, then B will fire. Okay, so time taken will be TA plus TB, that is 2 plus 4, that is 6 unit time. Okay, so the time was 2 and 4. And here you can see that two independent set of precedence constraints are there, that is even and odd. So this will execute simultaneously. Okay, this is not having any relation to this, and this is not having any relation to this one. Okay, so they can execute simultaneously. So two iterations, that is even and odd, can be executed simultaneously. So time taken for one sequential execution is 6 unit time. So for two sequential execution in the same time, we can say loop bound is 6 by 2, that is 3 unit time. Okay, so for this circuit this is the forward path. So critical path will be 6 unit time and loop bound is now 3. Okay, so there is a scope. Okay, so T critical is 6 unit time and loop bound is 3. So there is a scope of reducing the sampling period from 6 unit time to 3 unit time. Okay, so for IIR filter you have to take care of both the terms, loop bound as well as critical path time. Okay, so that's why in the starting I have said that this imposes the lower bound on the sampling period. So this value 3 can be computed by the formal definition, so no need to write precedence constraint again and again, just calculate by using the formula. Loop bound is TL by WL, so that is given by 2 plus 4, adding computation time of all the elements present in the loop divided by total number of delays, that was 2, so that is 3 unit time. Okay, so this precedence constraint was just for explanation purpose. From now onwards we will be using this formula, loop bound is TL by WL. So consider the DFG which is having multiple loops. So first loop is loop A, B and A, and loop bound, now we will directly calculate the loop bound using the formula TL by WL. So loop bound is 2 plus 4 divided by 2, that is 6 by 2, that is 3. And second loop is A to B, B to C, C to A, and loop bound is given by 2 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 1, that is 11. So the loop bound value for loop 2 is greater than the loop bound value for loop 1. So this loop 2 is called critical loop. And now for this graph we can define iteration bound. So iteration bound can be defined as loop bound of critical loop. Okay, and iteration bound is denoted by this symbol. Okay, so now if any DFG is having multiple loops, so the iteration bound for any given DFG having L number of loops can be defined as maximum set I belong to L TL by WL. Okay, so L is number of loops in given DFG. Okay, so we have to calculate the value TL by WL, that is loop bound for each and every loop, and the loop with maximum value will be the critical loop, and the iteration bound will be equal to the loop bound of the critical loop. Okay, so this method is easy for a smaller and a simple graph, but for a larger and complex graph it is not possible to identify the number of loops. So for this we can take the help of software, and for software we have to develop some algorithm. So the iteration bound can be calculated by two algorithms. First is longest path matrix algorithm, also known as LPM algorithm, and second is minimum cycle mean algorithm, also known as MCM algorithm. Okay, so we will not get into the details of coding. We will be more interested in the maths that is involved. So in the next lecture I will start with longest path matrix algorithm, and then after that minimum cycle mean algorithm will be discussed.